Going live. We're going live. Oh my god, we're going
We're
live.
going
Going
live.
live.
We're
Going
going
live.
live.
We're going live. So what do you think? Should I move the thing? Go live.
Are we not?
We are.
Okay.
I just haven't moved the thing
You
yet.
haven't moved the thing
I
yet?
haven't moved the thing yet. There are people out there going, why hasn't he moved the thing yet? You know, like why? And some days I just don't move the thing, not on purpose. Today I'm just being a jerk. Ha ha, here we are.
Oh, you jerk. You're so mean.
I am a meanie. Actually I
Meanie
had some
pants.
I have been called so many things this week that it is not funny. And the only one that really hurt was the 9-year-old screaming at me that I'm just mean. That I have been called a variety of things in a variety of places by a variety of people. And I really didn't care about any of that. That just
I
cracked me up.
I will say from the outside looking in on that situation, I was like, that's something I said at that age.
Right?
Yeah. And I
It,
get how on the other side that would hurt.
oh, it
I get
crushes.
it.
I know he's pushing a
All
button.
I came away from that with was I probably owe my mom an apology. I
Your first friend.
I really need to like call her and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry I said I hate you so many times when I was like 7. Like
It,
that was unnecessary. I went
literally,
too far,
the part we don't realize is in our story, parents were awful. In their story,
You were a little shit.
no. You were my best friend and you turned on me. Like when they're little,
Like
they
when
like
you're a
love
teenager,
you. When they're
when
little,
you
they
get into
love you
that.
so much. And
Okay.
then they start to want to be independent and they're just
Yeah.
like, "You're mean. I hate you."
I feel like that age happens a lot younger now. It's interesting.
No, 9. My dad always warned me about 9.
9 is
He
the
always hated 9-year-olds.
okay. That was like his set
It
age
was
that
the
he
best
didn't
bit of
fuck with.
advice I'd ever heard. That you know what, you're gonna love your kids. But you're gonna find that there's an age, and it might be different. For me, it's not 9. For my dad, it was 9. He
Right, right,
9.
right.
He said 9-year-olds. Ugh. And so this year he happens to be 9. So every time it gets to that point, I think of my dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, 9. Well, they've just discovered that they can hurt you. That they
Well,
can
that they can use it.
that they can make you do things
Yeah.
by like going.
So
Eh.
so do you think you kind of sort of need that state? Need the parent? You need to like figure it out with them. Be like,
Well,
hey, we gotta make sure that you don't just use mean words to hurt and to. Hey, you don't have to do that, man. We could just talk. Just talk. You know.
I just want to be friends
I
again.
just want to be friends
Well,
again.
because it used to. Okay, so here's my little dude,
I get it.
my bestest friend.
Uh huh.
He's my best friend. From the something of Eddie's father.
Best friend.
But
I
the
know the
point
song.
is, so the adult version, the other side of being a child.
Right.
So a child feels like they used to pay so much attention to me.
Right.
Gosh, why won't they give me independence? I want to be able to do what I want. And so there's this dichotomy going on inside the kid, and they blame the parent. So
Right.
like as the adult involved, you're like going, I miss it's just hanging out, man. We work on that. He and
Yeah.
I actually put time into that. Like we went to the reptile show last weekend. So
Yeah.
that he's still my buddy. He's still my friend. I make a point of even when we fight, going, hey now, you know, take a moment. I love you even if we're arguing. You and I do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I'm big on people argue over things,
We'll
and yeah,
we'll argue and then be like, "Hey, you want to go to the smoke shop?"
I'm telling you, Tobacco Land, right behind Stigler
What we
and Ackler,
realized is we're really stressed,
back
and we
behind the
need some more
Speedway.
CBD
That
from
Sam at
Sam.
Tobacco Land has the widest selection and variety
They do.
of
They do.
those things you've ever seen. CBD.
Oh.
He's also got, I think he's got some of the other alternative medicines, but he's got a really wide selection of, and we use CBD as an anxiety
Yep.
medication here, as opposed to cannabis.
It smooths out my mood, and I don't have to be
We
so
need that
I don't have to be so irritable all the time. You know, like cuz that that
for me. Hey, please. You need something. I'm gonna give him some more meds. I promise.
oh my gosh, whatever.
Nah, you know what? I'm on meds. I don't
Nah,
deny it. I
we'll
wrote. We had a show for a minute called the Farm Report, which was about the morning, and it was spelled PHARM, and it was about me taking my meds in the morning. Not that we told people that, but I mean that was the real reason it was called the Farm Report.
yeah.
I still have a really cool logo for the farm report though, with the chicken and everything. And one of these days we'll do a morning show.
Shoot, one of these days we might have to.
Well, the trick is,
I think it's cool to call people, like call people you talk to, and then by the time we've talked to like people around the world, it'll be like, hey, how you doing in blah blah, like, and it really like the stories things help with that, I think too.
well, I've found, so as we move into stories and are working on 10 questions, kind of doing this thing where the way we first see people is a group. The whole concept is it's a group of questions that aren't about what are your achievements.
Right. It's not about.
It's not about what did you do for so and so or somebody else. It's the idea is that the questions, and so far, 6 in, I have left feeling connected. No, 7. Sorry, it's Wednesday. I've felt really connected to the people we talk to. I felt it meaningful in a way I didn't do it expecting that. I didn't go into it with so the idea was I want to feel like I can see people more and feel like I want to give
You didn't
people,
actually expect to achieve that.
well, I didn't expect feel it.
Okay.
I felt like I was going through an exercise that was meaningful, but I didn't know what the outcome would be.
Right.
And the outcome's been better than I had hoped.
Right.
That though I feel winded from the interviews.
Well timed yawn.
Man, to have friends and talk to them, to see them as real people. I mean, we had a friend going through something today, and as meaningful as it is that he's going through something, it's meaningful to me that he reached out to us. You know what? I want this to be a place where in people's head, when they go, I need a safe place. I need a place where I can be seen as myself and be real. That when we talk about what the studio is doing, it's beyond simply putting out the noise. It's those connections. It's
Making friends.
making
Making other
friends.
people friends with each other.
It's over and over again. Have you met my friends? So that when I meet someone new, I think everybody has something to teach me, and I get all amazed and excited and delighted because it's somebody new to talk to. It's really
Right?
weird. Yeah, you watch me. It's like it's like a gift, like a new present that I'm unwrapping. Oh my God, how do you see the world?
Right.
And then what you find that everybody sees the world not that different. I'm not saying we're not going to run into other things, but the most part we run into is people going, "Nah, I you too, and I care about other people." As much as we think no one in the world cares, as much as we feel small and forgotten, as much as our friend today felt small and forgotten, the reality is we are connected. We're not alone. We have friends. The hardest part is when you're at your lowest, you can't see it. Can't, like, weird. It's like somehow your Rolodex is.
Yeah, even though like you have
You're
people
sure.
you could contact that.
You're sure those people
Yeah.
won't want to hear from you.
Exactly.
That one of the
Or
hard,
that they've sworn off you or something.
one of the things we were talking about yesterday, men's group I'm in, was how hard it is to reach out.
Mhm.
That, especially as men, and I don't go into this much, especially as men, we're expected to kind of carry it. Damn, I am yawning like crazy today,
Right?
folks. I apologize. But
Okay. You okay?
damn. Reality is that being there for each other is the most meaningful thing we can do.
See, I asked, "Are you okay?" In the time where he seemed like he needed, or "Are you okay?"
That
Okay, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Just Do it when it
Compassionate
needs to be
listening.
done.
Well, it was interesting. There's a guy, Thich Nhat Hanh, who spoke endlessly on the idea that passionate listening was the greatest gift you could give anybody.
Right.
Actually hearing them,
Right.
not that we don't want people to help solve our problems, but first and foremost, what we really want to be seen.
Right.
Meanwhile,
I'd say
we're afraid we're going to be seen too. We're afraid that if somebody sees us, they're going to judge us. And meanwhile, going all the way back to when you were the kid with your mom.
I tell you what though is very. I found it is very difficult to get that calm by myself. Like I can achieve it when I'm like by myself, but after a certain point, it doesn't help anymore. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes stepping away from the situation helps, but when I stay away from it, it's like my
Sometimes you rust instead.
yeah, like
Sometimes you get away from a situation you need to deal with now, and what
so
happens is it's
yeah,
harder when you come
it's
back.
harder when you come back to it. So it's like I find that I'm finding I need to depend on my friends a little bit. I need to talk to them a little bit. Be a
Well,
little bit friendlier. I need to go the extra mile a little bit more.
well, you have, in the end, we have people to share ideas with so that we don't just jump out there in front of the world, even that, you know what,
Yeah.
that in admitting that you need opinions other than yours.
Right?
Well,
No, yes. Seriously. Because otherwise you like if you want to make something a lot of people like, have to talk to a lot of people or at least interact with a lot of people. Like even when you're doing like I don't know the YouTube thing, you build a fan base. You like comment with people. You comment on people's stuff. You talk to people. People are gonna reach out to
you
you and
go be
email you and
present.
stuff. Go be present. Go
If you go be
yeah.
present, other people will be present with you. The hardest part, and I resisted this in the middle of this meeting the other night. The hardest part of getting good friends, I don't have good friends.
Be a good friend.
Are you a good friend? Because if you are a good friend, so that means follow up, you do what you say you're gonna do. Maybe you drift apart for a while, but then you check every like, oh hey, by
Right.
the way,
Right.
it doesn't mean like are you carrying it like a weight.
Right.
It means though, are you present for this person?
Right. So if you're present for this person, they'll be present for you.
You know, are you one of their faithful? So I talk about being one of the faithful as the idea not of religion and full of faith, but being somebody people can put their faith in. It sounds silly, but it's as simple as thinking about what you promise before you promise it. Thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be honest with people, communicate.
Right.
That it ends up people appreciate honesty. But then we're all so concerned we might get it wrong and be judged. It's not that we're lying, it's that we're trying to correct for how can I be more like who you want me to be. Everybody runs around going, "Whoa, how can I be more like who you want me to be?" and never fully evolves. They get stuck in this metamorphosis where you run around like a chameleon.
Metamorphosis.
Like a chameleon. Like everywhere you go, you change your color.
Yeah.
And
And
I don't know you. I don't know if you guys know this. He's not black. He's just black for the show.
my
So he blends in with the black dresser behind him. He's white if you put him in
I
front of a
don't
white
blend in at
dresser.
all. Well,
You
no,
should see him in front of plaid. It's amazing.
I blend in more with
I
the
know,
back,
actually, you do. You do kind of.
the
You're more of
the
a warm caramel than a black. A Blake.
What?
A Blake. Never say that. That's like New Jersey.
Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin. Balake?
Balake.
Those are the references of the day. That's what I have
Yeah,
to
sure.
say.
Should
God.
I read a word? Get a
Sure,
random word.
read a
in?
word. What's a word? You got a word for us? Thank you so much. Hope your day goes well. Know that I am here. You are appreciated. Thank you, man. There, I said
Mockumentary.
mockumentary.
I didn't know it was, but it's in the dictionary.
Where's it in the dictionary? Mockumentaries or have you?
It's a facetious or satirical.
Well, no, it's a document. Okay, no,
That's
it's
a little bit. I don't
no, no,
know.
no. Wait, wait, wait. You literally watch mockumentaries regularly. Now
I
that I think
know.
about it,
Yeah.
documentary now is a mockumentary.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought of when I scrolled through and read
I literally though
that.
just looked down and spoke to my phone and sent a message to somebody like we weren't on the air. We're not even gonna mention that. While you were
Oh shoot.
if you just looked at me and said, "What's a fake documentary called?" I could have said mockumentary. T. Saurus over here would have
Oh, you know what?
T. Saurus would have had
I
you
should. You know
covered.
what I should do? I should do it as a riddle. Be like, what is blah blah blah?
Are you gonna start playing Jeopardy over
Yeah,
there?
we're gonna start playing
Oh,
Jeopardy
jeez.
with the word.
What is mockumentary?
Dude, what else is there?
We could have a mock. There's Best in Breed. There's a mockumentary about dog shows.
There's a mockumentary about dog shows. I have to
Yeah.
see that. I have. It
There's
sounds awesome.
why can't I think of? I am so
I've al-
ashamed of myself for not being able to think of what the Rock one is that I love so much.
The Rock one? What do you mean?
There's one that's a mockumentary about a rock band, kind of loosely based on Black Sabbath. And I
Is that
can't.
a documentary now one?
No, it's 2 hours. It's full
Okay.
length.
Okay.
Oh,
No, every time I've seen
I know that their made up hit song is "Break Like the Wind."
I don't know how
It's
it
about
goes, I don't
farts.
know.
Think about it. Break like the wind.
Yeah, it sounds like it's about farts.
And they go and they
I
get
like
their they make it so their amps go up to 11 because man,
Uh-huh.
we go up to 11.
Did they say that?
They did.
Oh my god.
They
That sounds
did.
cringy.
It's made specifically very cringy. Only
Right?
see, I need somebody to have conversations in my conversation. I don't know. We're 17 minutes in.
17.
We need to find a path here.
I don't even know. We could go off of the dictionary thing. Just
No.
do everything.
Well, I want to talk about friends.
Talk about, okay?
I want to talk about the fact that building friendships is one of the most meaningful connections. Finding people that you share that with. That literally, we joke about bro code and stuff, but the idea of somebody in your life that when they say, gonna do this, you know they're gonna do it. That when you say, when they say they're gonna show up, they show up.
Right. Right, I got you.
We were talking with some friends about, well, I was about the
Mhm.
idea of who do you have? It's the middle of the night, snowstorm, you break down. Who do you call? That those are your those are
your friends.
now. And here's the hard part, though. You may have other friends though that fit in other situations.
Right.
So just because some friends might not be the ones that show up for you when you're broken down in the snow, they may be the ones that are there for you when you're broken down crying in the shower. The different.
Right. It's different people.
Everybody shows up the way they're going to show up.
Exactly.
The hard part for me is then it's the expectation versus wanting somebody you can count on. It's the endless fight inside friendships and relationships.
Right.
It's wanting to be able to lay down the weight and not carry it. That providing for someone your word gives them a piece of their life they don't have to worry about.
Right.
That the whole point of
Establishing trust.
right, that everything that
Trust takes work. Flash.
Well, trust takes listening.
Well, not just trust. Trust takes work on both sides, not just one person thing.
Well, it's just as true when you're in therapy that if you don't open up,
right? If you don't open up, the therapist can't be there for you.
and if you're in a relationship
Right.
and you don't communicate your need, no one will be there for you.
Exactly.
And then
the
you
same way as if you're not listening, then they can't say what they need to say.
Well, and then endlessly though,
it's-
people. Okay, so what happens though is people are sure there's nobody that cares. That there's nobody that And the reality is we're all lost in our head thinking nobody cares. Walking around acting like we're alone, thinking nobody
Right.
cares. And if
Because
it's
everybody puts up this wall acting like they
on
don't
Facebook, they're fine.
care. Right. Yeah.
On Instagram, you know what? They're setting trends. You know, on the Kardashians, they're getting new boobs.
Well, it's not even
but
just that, but
it's fake life.
it's just like people put up the best parts of their lives. And when I don't
But-
talk to somebody or anything, like even that, even in conversation sometimes,
Right.
unless I try to dig deeper, it doesn't get past the hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. How are you? Oh, I'm doing good. Blah 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 blah. You don't even get into the nitty gritty of what's really going on in your life.
Well, I got into huge issues
know,
in the
like-
corporate world with the idea that no, I wanted to treat people like people before I treated them like money. That
Right.
no, in my head, no, the first thing I do is talk to people.
Well, part of it is, it's like I almost feel like sometimes people are so worried about like they're so caught up in the problem that they don't even want to like let anybody know. They're just
Mm.
like, dude, I can't even talk about it right now. I'm fine. Like and keep it pushing.
Well, but the hard part is,
Crazy. I don't know.
and I mean, we've been through therapy. The
Yeah.
hard part is, though, the second you realize you're not alone, it feels like half of the weight's gone.
Right.
Now you can actually deal with the crap. So why are we not openly talking to our friends about the reality of the fact that life is hard? Namastained. We all got bruises. We all got scars on our souls. Struggle is universal. No matter how good you think somebody's got it,
Right.
that friend needs a hug.
Probably.
Straight up. You may not know why, because they ain't opening up, especially amongst us, amongst guys.
Right.
You know, that even when we're talking about how hard it is in relationships, we got to kind of, we puff and we act hateful about it.
Right.
Because really it's just tearing us up, just like it would, it's
Yeah.
ripping us up. You know, but we're taught we're not supposed to
Right.
show that. You know, you might feel that, go hide that somewhere.
I find I've always had a time when I communicated with people who heard me. Like if I've had, because when I was young I would communicate, but no one would hear me. It seemed like at least to me, from my perspective, because
Right.
it could have
right.
been something different, but like that's the way that it felt. So it's like when I'm going into other relationships, I have to be willing. I can't just close myself off from communicating because I know some people didn't hear me. I gotta keep communicating. I gotta keep this part up. I gotta make sure that you understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
So
Oh,
that way I
absolutely.
can hear where you're coming from, and
Well,
you can communicate with me.
Yeah.
You know, like, because the people that are gonna do that are gonna do that.
Right.
And if you're doing that, they're gonna do that.
Well, and I find
Or at
right
least the people
by
that
putting
won't,
myself
they're gonna
out, I
fizzle out, you
I
know,
run into
like-
other people that
Yeah.
are but I also run into people that are closed that open up when they realize I'm willing to be seen. Like it's not even so much I'm seeing them as I'm going, wow, man, I feel that.
My favorite thing whenever I went to camp and like just hanging out was go and talk to the kid that no one's talking to. Is just chilling by themselves. I just want to go talk to them just to see like what's going on in their head. Like that's it.
Well, and that's kind of the fun of what we're doing now as we move into stories. We're getting to actually know our friends deeper.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked to some people that are actually close to us too.
Yes.
And what we found was even more meaningful. That all of a sudden you're like, well, how do I feel about that? How do I feel like this? You're going, man, everybody will judge me. And then you start talking to people. Go, oh, not alone. When they answer these simple set of 10 questions, you know, where are you from? You know,
Right.
why are you here? That's
It's quite a scale.
You know, how do you work? How do you play? How do you pray? What do you love? What do you fear?
Yeah.
You know what
I don't remember.
do you think you know? And what do you want to know?
It
And
sounded like a poem almost.
no,
It was pretty funny.
it's got a lot of O's in it and what's. So that
No's and what's.
it's got a lot of alliteration.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on. Like I liked it.
You know,
like
the
the
funny thing
way
is that was a different order I just gave it in too. That's
It was a different order and it still worked.
I like the where are you from to why are you here kind of covers
Where are
it
you
too.
from to why are you here? Yeah, that's the whole.
Yep. Getting caboodle, man. But everybody, but the cool part isn't even just the answers though. I enjoy when people ask me about the questions. I love it when somebody goes, well, I don't, because then that's a different question. But
Well,
it still takes me somewhere.
what do you call it? It's like a scale. It's almost like hot wings.
Oh yeah, to
It's
some
like hot
extent.
wings of questions.
Because the first 5 go usually fairly quick.
Yeah, fairly, And then the next 5 is like,
Oh my God,
this is a question.
I'm so excited about doing an interview with 2 people, and because they have a relationship, it'll be interesting to hear them.
Right.
You know, like
right,
talk
right,
about.
right.
Oh, wait a minute, but you do that. I don't know. That, and this is one of the chillest. Rick is this amazingly chill guy that shares these amazing thoughts and
Right.
posts. And you go to his Facebook page, it's a picture out in Manitoba. There's a coyote and a like a crow. And it's gorgeous though. It's like the picture's amazing. Got the white frost on everything.
Okay.
Grounded.
Who's the other one?
Well, and his wife Janelle.
Okay.
So and I
Okay.
you know, and there's a possibility I know her. I don't know.
We shall see.
We shall see. But and today another one of my another really chill guy. We're gonna talk to Charlie Humphrey today.
Yeah.
And Charlie Humphrey, it's another
Okay.
one of those down to earth. He's actually got an answer to 10 questions up on my page.
Really?
Like a short answer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That and then we're gonna ride into the end of the week talking to Dermot and Paul, who I know from the men's leadership stuff that I've been working on. I look at it and I'm excited.
Me too.
Tisha next Tuesday, and God, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sure I'm not. Has a background in working in mortuaries and spirituality, and
Okay.
she will not be doing the yagya though. I do
Was
for
that
the
sign
record.
we saw?
No, so I get a lot of
Oh
weird
yeah, that was the.
today.
Funny stuff.
Weird chats with Matt. I get a lot of these. More and more, the more we're out there,
Right.
I get a range of people wanting me to buy things
Yeah.
or wanting to argue. So I'm gonna get to wanting to buy things because she wanted to sell me a yagya dance. I don't know what yagya is. I do have a version. There's a lot of singing involved, but it's supposed to change my world, give me peace, and I'm gonna listen to it. Don't get me wrong. It dawned on me that she sent me a sample. Why do I need her to do the real deal? Does it have to be like? Well, it started off.
Just listen to it.
It started off with I am a Vedic medium, or psychic, Vedic psychic. So I'm like a Buddhist psychic, okay, or a Hindu psychic. Hindu,
Okay.
sorry, Hindu psychic. Okay.
Tracking.
We're tracking. I said that's cool.
That's cool. Yep. New information.
She offered to do a dance that would rectify everything in my world, and no, I think it was just gonna be a spiritual dance. I know where your head's at, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think from India there was not gonna be any grinding. I don't think she was gonna be able to get a grinding sensation through my phone. but she kept going.
Dude, I'm gonna
But she
go
kept
to.
going. You order me. Like I was
See that's
Let me
the
order
part
one of
where
these.
it confirms it in my head where I'm like, that has to be a,
Well, so and I get the other ones. I get
you know,
people that offer to make us famous.
right?
You
So
know,
I get a good amount of those ones.
how much
yeah.
money? If you give us this amount of money,
Dude,
this is we are constantly approached by fake friends. Still same show.
right?
Hush.
Oh my.
That okay. So, but though I get it that you can buy numbers.
Right.
I also feel like I ignore the numbers anyways. I'm a
Yeah.
nonprofit, so I kind of
I figure if I just start sending it to people like a maniac, then I'll eventually get there.
all I can picture
just
is
gotta-
Flashdance and the girl going, maniac,
Yak,
maniac, I know.
Every
She
time
works so hard, she's gonna lose control.
every time I hear that song, I think about Hot Tub Time Machine. Cause he's saying that. I think it was
He
the
did-
ad or something.
I think he may have, but you're right.
Hilarious.
The part I always then they get weirder.
Right.
So those so normally when people are asking me to order things or sell things, there's a girl going, "I dance for you" or something, because I get a lot of those.
Right.
The best was I was in a mood one night where what I did was I just responded with all gifs to what was obviously, I don't know if it was a bot or a real person, but she was trying to get my attention.
Okay.
And I just kept sending crazy things, and eventually I'd said something asking for a response, and then for the next half hour every so often I'd just send skeleton figures going like this, waiting for us, knowing that she was trying to hit 500 other guys at the same time.
Right.
I was just trying to make me pop, like, on the theory that what they're doing is they're doing that to a bunch of people at once.
Right.
I'm just going,
Trying to make you pop up to the top.
I'm David Spading him.
Wait, so you just kept typing that?
No, it was a GIF that every so often I would just send
Okay.
so that I knew it would pop and it would just.
I got you.
So we get those, and then eventually I got the reaction of somebody started sending me dudes instead of ladies, and I'm like, you're wrong. I just wasn't reacting to the ladies. Now I'm really confused. I need the ya dance. But okay. The other day, okay, so which story should I tell first? So the very first time I thought we had somebody from a Russian farm, I talked a lot about Putin's pee-pee that day. And I don't know if saying Putin's pee-pee automatically gets somebody to respond to me. This is
I
the
think
test.
it does. I think that's
This
a
is the
Russian.
test.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Because I have a theory on why the other dude got to me too. Why the other dude reaches out. And when you're gonna go, damn, that's dead on. So we mentioned Putin's pee-pee. I get a guy screaming about how, like, he didn't care about Ukraine or Russia.
Didn't
and-
something happen to your Russian artist friend?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go into that. This
Nah,
is more the
it's all right.
silliness
I'm
of it.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into
Sorry,
the
my
serious.
bad, my
It's
bad.
okay. And he was just screaming at me about what an awful human being. Why would I care about Ukraine?
Right.
It was like this counter Ukraine thing, and
Right.
I don't support the Russian war on Ukraine.
Right.
And Vladimir Putin acts like he has a small peepee. It's not my fault. We went round and round, and they never say anything. There's never anything real. I'm like responding with long texts of, so do you want to have a discussion regarding? But most recently, there was another one. I did not mention Vladimir Putin's small peepee. So they didn't mention Russia or Ukraine.
Okay, so what happened?
Mentioned Orange Man, remember? I had a
Oh,
whole show where I was
yeah.
talking about
Dude.
Orange Man.
The algorithm kicks in. That's what happens, bro.
And so
The
so I got a
algorithm
guy,
kicks in.
like screaming that I was a leftist.
Yeah.
You're a leftist. And I said, dude, I'm one of the few people that can look at you and go, no bird flies with only one wing.
Right.
That we need balance, asshole. And so I'm coming back with like, okay. Then he called me a fruit. This guy threw a lot of slurs. He never.
Dude.
I tried to get him to talk to me about what he was upset about. He would never. And then he was really mad. He called me a Democrat. I don't believe in this two-party system. My answer to that was, in the Americas, the one thing you can learn is two-legged stool don't stand. It was supposed to be 3 different houses of representation.
Isn't that?
And then
a
once it became
country-
controlled strictly by 2 parties, click.
a country divided among.
Something about PP and Putin. And Kaka.
No, I wasn't. Why'd you go back to Putin? I was talking about Trump. You was saying
Caca Orange
a
Man. I didn't
country
even say Trump. I
divided
said Orange
among.
Man.
You said no. You were talking about the Democrat thing because he was calling you a Democrat, and I said a country divided amongst itself cannot stand.
A country divided is easier to rule. They're busy fighting with each other. Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't sound. Oh, yep. Divide and conquer.
Do you think we fight each other?
Yeah, I think the moment Occupy Wall Street looked like it was actually going to do something, and it was diverse and multicultural. That
Like,
they,
do you think?
no, let
hold
me
on.
finish. No, let me finish.
Okay.
That in the middle of, okay, so we were at a point, we were literally calling them to task. Multiculturally, the 99% had decided to stand up. The nation's news coverage started promoting black, white violence. They promoted that a weird looking, odd, fat Hispanic man had run down a black child and made that a national.
Dang.
Well, but think about it. He wasn't a white guy. They called him a white guy because that was the story they wanted. When the kid,
Oh, you mean Trayvon Martin? Oh,
Trayvon Martin. That,
okay.
but why was that suddenly the story pushed so hard? There were a million other stories.
Well, I mean, I feel like
But-
there's always been some kind of like spoken between people.
We needed the
As
BLM.
far as
So,
like
Here's what's
the
up.
CDC and shit
I,
like
sup-
that.
I,
Like,
s- I
like
fully
all kinds of
support the
stuff.
BLM, but I am telling you that the BLM is a means of making sure Occupy Wall Street doesn't happen. Because Occupy Wall Street isn't the poor people looking at the poor people because of what color they are. It's everybody looking at the rich people and calling them out for their shit.
I feel like
And we need friends to do that. And they don't want us to make friends. They're opposed to us making friends. If I say Orange Man, somebody reacts. If I say Putin's pee-pee, somebody reacts. The reality is, what they want is us not to be friends. And I want to point my spotlight at the sky and say, screw you. Something about proud and loud.
I want to be friends.
But in all realist,
Why can't
that's
we
the
be
whole
friends?
that's the whole basis of what we're doing. It's us saying this is bullshit. The majority of the people on this planet don't have an issue with each other.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Wait.
Yeah.
No.
No, they okay.
Not
If you
really.
talk to Joe that's working in whatever
really.
country, no matter what Joe's name is,
I guess the more people you
Joe's trying to
talk
take care of his family. The majority of human beings on this planet care about one thing. How can I make a brighter future for my children? Flat out, no stop. Everything else is lies about imaginary lines, make fights that do nothing for the people that die in them. Nothing. That country is torched. And I'm telling you right now, profit margins for all of the oil manufacturers worldwide through the roof. And literally, they don't even need to push them that high.
Why can't they be friends?
This is a game. You are being played. This is manipulation of the stock market.
Why can't they be friends?
Because that won't raise the oil prices. Don't you get it? The people could be friends. That's where we have to go outside the line. Dude, open. You got to wake up enough that you're here.
No, I am here.
Okay. That the reality is, it's a fiction. It's a game of smoke and mirrors. I can't look at the global financial situation. So what they're doing is building their fortune before the fall in the economy. What the oligarchs are doing right now. That's why Putin invaded Ukraine. That's why the oil prices are up. That's why everybody's banking their money, and then they'll move it into gold because the stock market's about to crash.
I have to do.
What does that have to do with friends? The fact that those are all you're not listening at all.
No, I'm.
No,
No,
that's
I'm.
that. Okay, stop.
I'm
What I'm saying is,
I'm-
all of the people
I'm trying
around
to
that
tie
could,
it.
right.
Yeah.
because you've lost the tie. I know
Yes.
that those are all about how to make money, and we as people are being played, and we need to be friends, is what I said before I said that. That the reality is that all of this imaginary hubbub, where people don't care how many people they kill, follow the profit margin. That money is about, they don't care about us. And if we don't learn how to point our spotlights at the sky and stand together, be friends, feel our connection, we are never going to change that. We're never going to change that. The reality is Ross needs a nap. That's now that, yes, that was the point I was making the whole show. That was, yes, absolutely. That is where we're going. That the more we do that, the more we can see. Be back in about an hour, guys. Not much longer. Pop. Go up on yours at all. Up. Pop up. Pop up over there too.